Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today is day 13 of RPG A Day 2021. Today, we are going to be talking about Improvise. So let's get started. If this is your first time here, smash that subscribe button and give us a like. We're going to be doing RPG topics every day this month for RPG A Day. And I can't wait to see what you guys have to say in the comments below about this video and the rest. So let's get into it. So I thought about doing the word flood, but with the fact that I talked about oceans yesterday, I'm going to hold off on doing flood. Maybe I'll do a blog post about that and natural disasters at a later date. But today we're going to talk about improvise. Now, I am a DM who loves to improvise. To me, that is where the fun of the game comes from. Now, what I mean by that is I don't like to know everything. I used to try and micromanage and know everything and, basically have the players play what I wanted to happen. And I've changed my style a lot over the years. I've played with other groups where, there was a lot of player agency, and it really opened my eyes to what Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop RPGs can be. Now, one of my favorite things to do is when I am a DM, I like to let my players have agency. If they want to add to the world or add, information to the game that I haven't thought of, that is fine with me. Maybe they, create a whole faction that their family came from. Maybe their father was a general in the army or something. Something like that. That now becomes canon. I love that stuff. It throws me for a loop, and now it gives me things to work with. And, this kind of goes with that whole idea in the past that I've heard DMs say that they love when their players write, a multiple page backstory. I don't like backstories like that. I don't want to read it. But if it comes up in game and you role play it out, that's what I like. Rather than you put all of these thoughts on paper and just give it to me before a campaign. I want you to role play it into existence. It's kind of like a TV show. When you're watching a TV show and, you're 4 episodes into a season and then all of a sudden they drop a bombshell of something from their past. And now you as the audience learn that. That's how I want it to come to me as a DM or even another player at the table. I don't want to know up front. I want to know in a relevant moment to make it more impactful and meaningful. So, when it comes to improvising, though, I love it when players throw me a curveball like that. They, again, add to the scene or the story or the moment with something from their backstory. Maybe, and it could be anything. It could be like, just a random drop of how they got their sword from the same type of craftsman that you just mentioned in the game. And now you start tying other things to it, I love that. I love when players ask random things like, hey, is there a boulder that I can pick up and throw over here? And it's like, well, yeah, now there is. I love that. It's basically the yes, but, or the yes, and theory of running games, rather than saying no. Is there a chandelier I can swing from? Yes, but it's going to be really hard to get up there because it's 20 feet high, something like that. So yes, it's a possible, but it's going to be difficult. Things like that. I love it. And the improv of it all is what makes it great. Now, this can also stem to role-playing encounters, like having NPCs that are interacting and just all of a sudden you give a hook that you were not planning on doing just because you improvised it. Maybe spurred from a question. Maybe the party asks the blacksmith, hey, do you know of any rare metals or something in the area that could make a magical sword? Now you improvise possibly that yes, there's this creature you can slay and the plates of its back or whatever are perfect for making plate armor or something. You improvise it, which I just improvised that in this video, but you could improvise things to create stories and create adventures at the table. This is also why I like to record my sessions rather than not, because I'm a terrible note taker. And so the fact that I record it allows me to go back, take my notes on it, and all that. So there's my pro tip. Go and record your sessions. Find out if it's cool with your players. You don't have to put it up and share it for people, but go back and record it so you can watch it later. And that works amazing while prepping for the next session. So yeah, improvising, again, can't talk about it enough. I think it's the best. I've read The Lazy Dungeon Master, which originally helped me get into the mindset of more improv and things like that. And some of the tools in that were like, come up with 3 NPCs and come up with 3 possible hooks and 3 locations, like unique locations for your session, and just continue to add to it every session. Add 3 more of each. And it ends up telling quite a fun story over time. And you get all these different cool things the players can do, people they can interact with, places they can go. And you just improvise it. You make a 1-sentence thing about each thing, and you're good to go. An NPC, it might be you give them 1 mannerism and give them 1, secret or a thing that they know. And maybe you tie it to one of the hooks that you've already written down. So that's, or maybe you give 2 of the hooks to that NPC if that's the NPC they come across. But you improvise it. And you can then, based on that, and they don't have to be tied together, right? So you have the 3 NPCs, you have the 3 hooks, and you have the 3 locations. So the first NPC they interact with, you could give them 1 of the hooks, 2 hooks, 3 hooks, and 1 to 3 of the locations to go to. And maybe they will or won't take that. If they don't, maybe the next NPC also knows of a rumor at this location. And now, again, you get them going in that path. But improvising it, to me, is where the fun is. I don't want to know where my players are going all the time. I don't want to know what's going to happen all the time, because not knowing, for me, keeps the game interesting to me. But I like to run loose with my games. I think it makes for a better experience for me, and I think it also works better for my players as well. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please leave a comment and give us a like, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for day 14 of RPG Day, where we're going to either be talking about safety, limits, or momentum. See you guys tomorrow. This is Master of the Game. I am Juice. Game on.